Theodore Roosevelt Jr. was born on October 27, 1858, in New York City. He was a sickly child with severe asthma, but he overcame this problem with his strenuous lifestyle and exuberant personality. He was very active, participating in horseback riding, wrestling, and hunting. He was homeschooled by private tutors and attended college at Harvard in 1876. There, he developed an interest in history and politics. In 1882, he began to pursue his political interests, serving 3 terms in the New York State Assembly. By 1884, he had become the leader of the Republican Party reform wing. He led strong movements against corruption in politics and business. In February 1884, his mother and wife died on the same day, and he retired. Roosevelt moved to a ranch in the West, studying history and writing books. Teddy eventually would come back in 1886, and in 1889 he was appointed by President Benjamin Harrison to serve on the Civil Service Commission in Washington, D.C. He was committed to eliminating corruption and providing equal opportunity to everyone. His hard work led him to return to New York City in 1895, and eventually he became President William McKinley's Assistant Secretary of the Navy in 1897. Teddy was in strong support of America gaining new territories, and he advocated the beginning of the Spanish-American War in 1898. Once the war began, he resigned from his position in the Navy and became the leader of the 1st United States Volunteer Cavalry, also known as the Rough Riders. The Rough Riders fought important battles in Cuba, and Teddy led a bold charge into San Juan. Roosevelt returned to the United States as a war hero, and his vast popularity led him to be nominated and to become the governor of New York. Teddy's 2 years as governor were very successful, and he advocated much reform in the New York government. However, the New York Assembly and Senate were reluctant to embrace these new reforms, and Teddy was given the Republican vice presidential nomination as a way for New York to push him out of the governor's office. McKinley and Roosevelt won by a landslide in the election of 1900, and New York believed that it had gotten rid of TR. But on September 6, 1901, McKinley was shot in Buffalo, New York, and he died 8 days later. As a result, Theodore Roosevelt became the 26th President of the United States. Roosevelt's first term in office was limited, both by the way he came to power and the conservative policies of the Republicans in Congress. Nevertheless, Roosevelt began to break apart harmful trusts, including the Northern Securities Company. He also intended to expand the global power of the United States. He showed this in his big stick diplomacy, named after the saying, "Speak softly and carry a big stick." This meant that Teddy would negotiate peacefully, but he would also make sure the other party knew that he was ready to use force if they did not cooperate. Under this ideology, he got many things done. He created an American-controlled government in the Philippines. He gained the Panama Canal by American involvement in the Panamanian Revolution. Roosevelt's second term was much more progressive than the first. His main area of reform was in the conservation movement. Teddy was an avid hunter and outdoorsman all his life, and he loved nature. Because of this, he established 16 national monuments and 51 wildlife refuges, and transferred over 125 million acres of land to the forest reserves. He also played an important role in foreign affairs during his second term, most famously preventing a war between Japan and Russia in 1904. He received a Nobel Peace Prize for his work in foreign affairs and promoting peace. Teddy Roosevelt is one of the most influential presidents America has had, and his legacy will last a long time. He is known as the architect of the modern presidency because of the impact he had on the power of the president and how he shaped the way the presidency is today. He is admired by conservatives because of his big stick diplomacy and his use of the military. He is considered by some to be uncivilized because of his forceful, imperialist approach to some affairs. He is remembered by all, however, as a real man with character and an energetic personality. He is seen as a representation of American masculinity, known for his bravery and patriotism.